The restaurant was quiet that evening, too quiet for a Friday night in downtown Chicago. Rain tapped gently against the glass windows as Lena, a 25-year-old waitress with tired eyes and a determined heart, wiped down the last table near the corner booth. She was used to long shifts, rude customers, and aching feet, but tonight something felt different. Maybe it was the weather, or maybe it was that faint ache in her chest she never could explain, a feeling of emptiness that had followed her since childhood. Just as she was about to clock out, the manager rushed over. "Lena, table 7, important guest, treat him like royalty." She sighed but smiled politely, "Of course, sir." When she turned toward table 7, she froze. Sitting there was a man in his early 50s, sharp suit, cold eyes, and an aura that screamed money. His wristwatch probably cost more than her yearly rent. He didn't even look up when she approached, busy scrolling through his phone, his expression impatient. "Good evening, sir. Welcome to Lakeside Bistro. What can I get you tonight?" Lena asked with her usual warmth. He didn't glance up. "You're late." "I'm sorry, sir, I wasn't informed." He cut her off, his tone harsh. "Excuses, I don't tolerate incompetence. Just bring me your best steak, medium rare, and make sure it's perfect. I don't like mistakes." Lena bit her lip, suppressing her irritation. "Yes, sir." As she walked away, she heard him mutter under his breath, "No wonder this place isn't five-star material." Her hands trembled slightly as she entered the kitchen. She dealt with rude customers before, but something about him, his arrogance, his dismissive tone, stirred something deep inside her, a strange mix of anger and sadness. When she returned with his meal, he was still busy on his phone, arguing with someone. "Do you even understand what's at stake, David? This merger will crush us if I don't handle it right. I can't afford distractions right now." He ended the call, visibly agitated. Lena gently placed his plate down. "Your steak, sir." He didn't thank her, he just sighed and picked up his fork. Finally, took long enough. Still, she smiled faintly. "If there's anything else." "There won't be," he snapped, eyes cold. But when he finally took the first bite, he paused. His expression softened for just a fraction of a second before he looked up at her. "Who made this?" "I did, sir," Lena replied, a hint of pride in her voice. He studied her, really looked at her this time. Something in her face caught his attention, though he couldn't quite place it. Her eyes, that warm brown shade, it stirred a long-buried memory. "You're surprisingly talented," he said gruffly, breaking the tension. "What's your name?" "Lena, sir." "Lena," he repeated the name slowly, almost tasting it on his tongue. "Do you have family?" The question caught her off guard. "No, sir, I grew up in foster care." He frowned. "Foster care?" She nodded. "Yeah, I never knew my parents, but I believe everything happens for a reason, even pain." Her words hit him harder than he expected. He quickly turned away, pretending to check his phone again, but his mind was no longer on business. That night, as Lena walked home under the streetlights, she couldn't shake the strange sadness in the billionaire's eyes. Arrogant, yes, but behind his coldness she sensed something broken. Something that looked a lot like her own heart. The next day, the billionaire Nathan Cole returned. Everyone in the restaurant whispered about it. Billionaires didn't just come back to small diners. He sat in the same booth, ordered the same meal, and waited. When Lena approached, he looked up immediately this time. "You again." She smiled softly. "Welcome back, sir," the usual. Yes, his tone was gentler now. Over the next few weeks, Nathan kept coming back. At first, it was just for the food, or so he claimed. But soon, he started asking questions about her life, her dreams, her struggles. She told him she was saving up to go to culinary school, that she wanted to open a small cafe someday, one filled with warmth, laughter, and homemade pies. He found himself drawn to her honesty, her kindness, her resilience. She reminded him of someone he'd lost long ago. Years ago, Nathan had fallen in love with a woman named Alina. She was fiery, passionate, and full of dreams. But when she got pregnant, everything fell apart. Nathan was just a poor college student back then, and her wealthy parents forbade the relationship. They forced her to give up the baby for adoption, and Nathan never forgave himself or them. He spent decades burying that pain under wealth, power, and pride, until now. Now, sitting across from Lena, he saw the same eyes, the same tiny dimple on her left cheek that Alina had. His heart began to pound. Could it be? That night, unable to rest, he ordered a private background check on Lena. When the report came back, his hands shook as he read it. Her birth mother, Alina Brooks. Her father, Nathan Cole. He dropped the file, his chest tightening. His own daughter, the one he had abandoned unknowingly 25 years ago. He felt like he couldn't breathe. The next day Nathan returned, but this time he looked different, fragile, nervous, almost human. He watched her from afar, memorizing every smile, every laugh. When her shift ended, he asked quietly, "Can we talk?" They sat outside under the fading sunset. "Lena, there's something I need to tell you." She tilted her head. "What is it?" He hesitated, his voice broke. "You said you never knew your parents, but what if I told you you weren't abandoned out of hate? What if it was out of pain?" Lena frowned. "Sir, I don't understand." He took a deep breath, tears pooling in his eyes. "I'm your father, Lena." Her world stopped. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. The city lights blurred behind her as tears welled up. "You're lying." "I wish I were," his voice cracked. "I didn't know. They told me the baby was gone. I've been looking for you for years." She shook her head, backing away. You've been coming here, eating, judging, acting like you're above everyone, and now you say this."